What up, it's your boy Brodie Fresh. I'm here with Team Focus Radio with my brother So Focus. Make sure y'all tap in, don't tap out. Big Long Island, man, we outside. Yeah, yeah. What he said.
I done seen it all. Only time something had my back when I was down and my shit was against the wall. Ain't nobody helped me up when I took a fall.
You know what it is, Team Focus Radio. I'm your host, So Focus. I'm back in Long Island, New York with the one and only Brodie Fresh. What's going on, my brother?
Yes, sir. What's up, my brother? How you feeling?
Cracking. We are actually in Elmont.
Yes,
correct?
sir.
This is my first time. I mean, I still passed Elmont. I've never been
Right,
here
right.
before. So right now we're actually in a barber shop.
Yep.
I see like a movie theater. I never seen anything like this in my life. Like,
Nah, for sure. He
what's
did his
the name
thing.
of this? What's the name of this?
Exit 13 Grooming Lounge.
Okay.
Yep. Shout out to my man Fad.
Yeah. Like I said, it's different for me. But actually, right next door to Queens.
Yep.
And you're from Queens originally.
Yep. I was born in Hollis, Queens, and moved from Hollis, Queens to Elmont, which is pretty much, I'm not gonna say the same thing, but
Right.
I could get to Hollis, from Hollis to Elmont in 7 minutes with no highway. You know what I'm saying? Just go straight down the street. So.
So how was it growing up in Elmont? Like, what is it like?
I feel like, I actually explained this on my album, A Kid from Elmont, because, when people hear Long Island, they typically just be like, oh, Long Island, rich parents, this, that. That's just like the idea that people get when you mention Long Island, especially from other places outside of New York. And I kind of explained it on my album, like a lot of our parents here in Elmont, they were first generation people that moved to Long Island. And they might have, worked hard or however they came up to get the money to be able to move their family out of that, from a worse situation to a better situation. They made it happen. But what ended up coming from that, like, for example, my parents, they were blessed to be able to move to Elmont. And when they got here, they had to work so much to maintain to live in Elmont that you barely seen them. Because now it's like, hey, my mom's working 6 to 6, my dad's working, 6 to 11 at night, because every day they got to grind and figure it out, because the money is, it's way more money out here than was where they came from. So I think it's cool, man. It's a good neighborhood. Or now it's a little tricky, but when we first got here, it was a good neighborhood. But yeah, I think it took away, some kids' parents from them as far as the time with them.
Right. I actually seen the footage you talk about having asthma at some point.
Yeah, yep.
And like, you feel comfortable telling the story about how it kind of went away? Like,
Yeah.
wise?
It's weird because I don't remember, like, I don't recall having asthma.
Right.
Like I can never tell you like an honest story and say, hey, yeah, I remember this one time I almost this. I don't recall. I was so young, but I just, all of my family told me from birth I pretty much had asthma super bad. I couldn't really run from anywhere. I couldn't jog for 5 seconds without coughing and foaming from the mouth and having to go on the nebulizer, I think it's called. And one day my pops wasn't really in the church at the time. He had a cousin and his brother just started going to church, and they was building their faith. And one of them told him, hey, there's a healing ceremony going on in Pennsylvania if you want to go. So he jumped in the car scared because I was coughing and I wasn't breathing right. And he took the drive out there. He waited in line for I think it was 5 hours. And when he was next in line, they cut the line off. And it was supposed to be I guess the minister was praying over people and healing people from certain things. And he took the risk and he went there. He waited in line. I never got to see the pastor because the line got cut off. And he just went back home disappointed. And he basically said, within the next month, I never had asthma again. So right now, like me, I don't have like I said, I don't recall having asthma at all. I played sports my whole life. I could run perfectly fine. Maybe not now. I'm a little heavier than I used to be. But yeah, I never recall ever having asthma.
But what would you say is one of your biggest challenges in life?
Now or just in general, entire life?
Entire life.
I think battling, I would say battling myself, really, just my heart. I learned from my pops. My pops was somebody that looked out for everybody. He looked out for his family, his friends, and, even seeing at his funeral when he passed, how many people didn't show up for him, at that time, that I knew myself that he actually showed up for. I'm the same type of person. I look out for a lot of people, and I took a lot of losses in life from looking out for a lot of people. So I think just battling that, and also my need to what's the word? I would say my need to make them proud, right? Because I feel like when you're a kid, my dad was handicapped, and that was my thing. It was hey, I got to do this to keep making people proud. And you get older, and it carries with you. You still want to make your family proud and do this and do that. And I think at the end of the day, it's really just making yourself happy, making yourself proud. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody that loves you should be happy that you actually, you're good and you're at peace. So.
Yeah. I was gonna say you're a man of many trades because you also you detail cars as well. Learning.
Right.
How does that even happen, man?
So I always been a car person, like since high school. You know what I'm saying? I had Hondas and, you know, me and my peoples, you know, we would work on the backyard on the cars and this and that. So I was always a car person. When my pops passed, I actually went about, I had started renting cars in New York. I want to say during the pandemic, maybe like 2019, 2020. I started, I got a couple cars, started renting them out. And when my pops passed, my little brother, one of them lived with him and the other one lived in Cali. So they were going to be moving to Houston with me. And I wanted to basically create something that could give them a job so that they had something to do. So I went and took a class to learn how to detail just so I could teach them. And then I opened up the business to try to basically give them a job so they could just roll right in and start doing it. You know what I'm saying? So
It's fire, it's fire.
Yeah.
What about, I heard a rumor allegedly, are you have like related to JMJ somehow?
So I am, I guess the correct through marriage, you could say.
Right.
So, you know, if you asked him, like if you asked JMS J Jr., Jason Mizell Jr.,
Right.
he'll tell you that's my cousin. You feel me? Like that's family. You know, his cousin married my aunt.
Right.
So, you know, we all kind of just knew each other. Shout out to my cousin JL. JL shot that. Y'all might know him. He's a big videographer. All in the same family. Him, Face, my cousin Gats, JMJ. Like I said, if you look at actually my first music video ever, they was all in the video. Not J Master J, but J Master J's son. He had a shirt on with his pops on it, and it said JMJ son.
Yep. He was on that show, was a grown up hip hop.
Yep. So you know what I mean. So that's family for sure.
That's fine, fine. Now I was gonna say too, like today's day, like there's a thing called perception.
Yep.
People could do everywhere. You kind of could pay for relationships.
Absolutely.
Right, per se. How would you able to stand out amongst all of that? Because anybody could do that nowadays.
Right.
Like, I know people that today's day, no names, but they'll go to the club, they'll take a picture with somebody a billion times.
Yep.
Be like, yo, it's my homie. And you ask the person, they're like, they don't even know who that is. You
Nah,
know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
But you was able to stand out amongst that. Like, how do you do that?
I think it's just really taking the time to actually build relationships.
Right.
Not just paying. I mean, some things you gotta, you know, the pay is the intro to it. But from there, where do you take it? Do you follow up? Do you know, me typically, even artists and other people that I didn't know, I check in, hey, Merry Christmas to you and your family. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just the little things of just keeping a loop. And then really putting yourself in position to be around them in the right spot, right? Like I do a song with an artist and I'll make sure that I get on the show that he's on without him even knowing. You know what I'm saying? That had nothing to do with him. Now he sees me again. It's like, oh, what you doing here? And then when I pull up, I always prided myself on pulling up the right way. So if I pull up, I'm gonna be in the right car. I'm gonna look the right way. My fit is gonna be the right way, and just being, you know, able to capitalize on that relationship. Because now they see you looking in a different light. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when they're upcoming artists, they're like, oh, this is just a young kid that's paying me some money for a feature. You know, he might not have no money. He might have a team. He might have that. But then when you pull up on them the right way, they're like, oh wow, some really got something going on. So, you know, just putting yourself in position to be around them.
Yeah. What about your family members and friends? Like, are they acting different with you now? Like you're around people, like old friends, and hit you up in like 10 years.
I say, I wouldn't say they act different. I feel like I just learned to accept what it is. And it's like, in life period, you can't expect anybody to support you, right?
Right.
But, you know, you do, it's something that you look for, you know what I'm saying? Especially in music or any type of creativity or business. You know, you got your friends you know your whole life. You would think, hey, I'm doing this, they're gonna support this. But, you know, some of them don't, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes it takes them longer to come down the line, maybe because they're not sure if you're serious about it. And they just like, oh, I don't even know if he's really trying to do that for real. He's just messing around. But I feel like, I mean, there's definitely people, there's definitely some new cousins, and it comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it comes with it. Me personally, I feel like some parts of my family was already weird to me from young. So it's like, I don't really take it no kind of way. Like I was always a straight A student. I had straight A's my whole life. My pops is, before my brothers were born, I was the only child. So my pops would be the one to be like, yeah, you know, Junior got, you know what I'm saying? Cause I was his only kid, you know what I'm saying? So he would brag about it. And, I think, you know, certain people just did like, he got straight A's, he got this, you know what I mean? And I talk about it often because I had family members that'd be like, yo, well, he got these Jordans or he's spoiled. And it's like, my dad got one kid, he lost his leg, he won a lawsuit, and he was poor his whole life. So of course he's gonna want to do something for his kid that got straight A's, and he's his only kid.
Of course.
But I would have substituted that for my dad having his leg and me being able to learn how to ride a bike from him and do different things, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, just how you look at it. But yeah.
What would you say is like your greatest motivation? Like what motivates you?
I say my kids now, but just family in general. Wanting to see my family do better. Definitely my pops, because I watch my pops do a lot and hustle and make it happen with one leg. And I feel like, you know, he outgrinded a lot of people that didn't have that disability. So, you know, seeing him do that definitely is a motivation to me because, like, how could I have any excuse at all if he was out here making it happen?
I also saw on your page you was working with Jim Jones. Are you still working with him now? Like, what's
That's my man for sure. That's the bro. You know, I did a one-off distro situation with him, but definitely family. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say you also come from a church background. Correct?
Yep.
So what role has God played in your life?
Man, I would say it's just motivation as well. Just I feel like, you know, you learn God differently as you get older. When you grow up as a kid, it's just like, oh, we're Christians, we go to church. But you don't really know what that is, you know what I'm saying? Because you've never really been in a hard spot where you feel like you needed that motivation. Right. And I think like religion is just totally different to me nowadays because I feel like everybody's looking for something to believe in. Everybody's looking for hope. You know what I mean? That's why you see, you know, just in the last year or two, I got probably 100 friends that turned Muslim. That was never Muslim their whole life. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, what made you do that? And it's just like, in reality, you could see that they just was looking for something to believe in. And maybe this is the trendy thing right now, or everybody's making you feel like, you know, because I feel like certain times people will look at somebody and be like, oh, my boy's Muslim and he got a Lambo. So whatever he's believing in, you know what I'm saying, is working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of became a trendy thing. But I think for me, to get back to the question, I feel like, you know, God gave me the motivation to keep going in times that, you know, I felt like I couldn't have. Because I watched certain things happen. I watched my pops. And when you're a preacher's kid, you see it differently. You know, even like on my album, I talk about a song. I got a song called Collection Plate. And I'm basically talking about, you know, me feeling like the church owes my family because we missed out on a lot of time with my pops. Like I could have a basketball game at 2:30 on a Sunday and church ended at 2 and he's supposed to come to my game, but sister so-and-so needs him to talk to him about something. So now he ends up missing my game because he's being there for somebody else. And I don't think it's on purpose. I think it's just that's, you know, the calling that God put on him, and now he feels responsible to be here for all of these people. And you know, when that happens, naturally it's gonna take a toll on somebody. You know what I'm saying? And in our case, it'll be the family. He might have to write a sermon. My mom want to go out to eat, but he can't because he got to get church ready for Sunday. But he still got to go to work Monday through Saturday to make sure that he can provide for home, and then to make sure that he can pay for the bills in the church if the tithes and offering isn't enough to cover the rent. You know what I'm saying? So you just see a lot. You see it a lot differently from that angle.
Right. You also been on tour with a lot of artists. Can you talk about some people on the road a bit?
Man, I toured a lot.
The Conway.
My first tour, yeah, Conway is definitely later on in my career. My first tour ever was with King Los. That was 2013. So we went on tour. The first show date was actually on my birthday. So I had turned 23 that year. So the first show was on May 26, 2023, and it was in Dallas, Texas. You know, I ain't had no money, no nothing. The situation of how I even got on the tour was like just a blessing in itself. Shout out to my man Ernie from After Platinum. He owned a label, like a management label that signed Corey Guns and King Los. And I had reached out to him, I want to say 2012, try to get a feature from Corey Guns. And randomly, I'm in Atlanta for A3C Festival, and we all go to the studio, Ludacris' studio actually, and Trader Truth and all of them is in there. King Los walks in, and this guy comes in, and we all introducing ourselves, and he's like, hey, what's going on? My name's Ernie. And I'm like, oh, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, by any chance you Ernie from After Platinum? And he's like, yeah, how you know? And then I'm like, oh, you know, my name's Fresh, man. I had reached out to you for Corey, and he just found it amazing that we randomly bumped into each other. Me being from New York, he was from Arizona, and we randomly bumped into each other in Atlanta. And he gave me the opportunity to go on tour, but I didn't have nothing, man. I went on there with $1 and a dream for real. Like, took my Honda Civic, had 4 people in it. You know what I'm saying? Thugged it out, eating McDonald's every day. But we drove from here to Dallas, and we made it happen, and we kept going. So that year, I went on tour with King Los, and then a month later, I went on tour with Corey Guns, who's still my brother to this day, both of them. Like you said, we're building relationships. Right. Most recently, the last tour I came off was April that just passed with Dom Kennedy, which is also my bro. You know, me and Dom go back a cool, maybe like 5-6 years now. I've toured with Nipsey Hussle. I've toured with Chris Webby. I've toured with Conway, Benny, Brodie James. Man, who else did I tour with? Stove God. Stove God was on tour with me and Conway. Mozzie. Me and Mozzie went on tour together. Yeah, so I've been on quite a few tours for real.
Now, you're also working with DJ Drama right now, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Can you speak about that?
Yeah, so actually the most recent tour I just came off with Dom, his road manager, shout out to my brother Sire. He ended up coming on my management team, and Sire had a relationship with him. He used to manage Englewood Scheme from Cali. Englewood Scheme was signed to Drama with Generation Now, I think 9 years ago. So they had a relationship. We was talking about this album and just what you know, and assisting putting it to that next platform. And we was like, man, let's do something like a mixtape, kind of like a mixtape album. And we went through a couple people to work with. Big Mike the Ruler was one of the people I thought about as my brother in real life. So we was chopping it up with a couple different people, and man, we was able to go to Atlanta, play it to Drama, and he liked it, and it was just it from there. I mean, he sat there and laid the vocals in right there on the spot.
Right, you dropped the project this week, right?
Nah, I dropped the first single this week.
Single?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's the name of the project again?
The Preacher's Kid.
Preacher's Kid, yeah. Make sure I check that out, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Also, if you could give advice to any artist on the come up right now, like what advice would you give them?
Man, just stay true to yourself. I feel like so many artists try to figure out a way to look a certain way and not realize that it's not even music that sells the most no more. It's really your personality. That's why people like Cardi B are going crazy, because she goes outside and she's hilarious, and people, they buy into her. They you know what I'm saying, they feel invested into her life because they feel like they watched her go from this person to this person. And I feel like that's big. So sometimes you don't gotta have a Lambo, you don't gotta have the foreigns. It's cool to be at whatever platform and level you're at and let people grow with you. You know what I'm saying? And then trying to look a certain way, because once you do that and you fake it till you make it, you got to stay like that, or you're gonna look like you fell off, right? So now you got to keep up with a narrative that you created,
right? And
you put that pressure on yourself to now need the money to do this and that and that, and that's a stressful thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. So how can people out there get in contact with you on social media?
Man, everything's Brodie Fresh. It's BRODIE Fresh. BrodieFresh.com, Twitter, IG, Apple Music, you know, pretty much all DSPs, everything's Brodie Fresh.
Definitely. Make sure you back at Soul Focus Life social media. Got the SoulFocusMedia.com is the website. I'm gonna give a shout out to yourself, Brodie Fresh.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, King.
Thank you so much. Shout out to the whole Long Island, Elmont. This is amazing. It's my first time actually being here.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just super grateful, man. Thank you so
Big
much.
LI, man. We here, man.
So let's get it. Long Island, Soul Focus, Brodie Fresh. We out of here. Yeah.
Biggest since Rakim.
Let's get it.
Bye.
Focus on yourself, King.